and then others miss miss that gift. They didn't get that. So.
Now, my all-time favorite singer-songwriter, you talk about music, lyrics, and feeling, is Hank Williams.
Okay.
And because
All right, we're gonna go live.
What?
We're going live with radio.
So be quiet until he's follow my lead. Well, good evening and welcome to the Hangout, all things arts and crafts. And I'm Susan Hyder, your hostess tonight. And in a little while, we'll talk to Jean Dunn with Shoebox Sisters.
All right.
And we appreciate her coming.
It's good to be
Thank
here.
you for coming. And we have Gabe with Powerhouse Studios over here on the soundboard or whatever you call it, all that mechanical electronic stuff that I don't do very well.
Hola.
Questions or requests, go to the bottom on YouTube, tuned in TN YouTube. Go to the bottom, type your questions in and ask them, and Gabe will make sure that we get them. And also while you're there, like us, share us, subscribe to the channel. There's some things, awesome things besides me even. So we have What Happened, that is on, I guess it's taped on Saturday or Sunday, and later on in the week, and you get to hear news, and crazy people like Trailer Trash Dave is on there occasionally. If you have any questions for me, Susan at tunedinradio.us is my email. And then during the week and other times, you can go to studio at tunedinradio.us and do requests for songs that you want played. We have a new Facebook page, Fans of Mine, so go on there and say some comments. The Hanger Honors, and that's exactly how it's spelled on Facebook. So if you go there, you can make some comments. And Wanda does occasionally, says some things, but sometimes. And Wanda's in the studio with us tonight.
Hey everybody!
She's the one we talk to through the camera normally, but she came tonight. The Tuned In Radio Music and Arts Festival is about 6 weeks away, June 11th to 13th, and we have the mini quilt contest. If you need the rules, right now we have them printed at Hyder Hangout, and we can email them to you. We will have them posted with some links by the end of the week. And the mini quilt can be no bigger than 25 by 25, or if you stretch it out, bigger, but 100 inches all the way around. And Beth Spencer is going to be here as my guest on May the 10th to talk about the mini quilts. So we'll have more information about that. And it'll be easy because song titles, you can name just about any quilt with any song title out there and get it in. So you won't have to rush around trying to get a music theme mini quilt. You probably have something that you know, My Dog Blue or whatever. So you can find a song title to fit your quilts and put it in. So get ready for that. The museum center is open partial hours, and they do have some art stuff coming up. They have some art classes, and then they will have art camp this summer, and I'm working on getting a guest to come in and talk to us about that. Then Tuesday, coming up on Tuesday, tomorrow night, 6:30 to 7:30 is a Facebook Live with the Cleveland Bradley County Public Library. And I said it quick that time, and I didn't stumble over that. Try saying that. That's a lot to say. It's a book club called Book Immersions with Hoopla. And it's for adults where they discuss a Hoopla book and do immersive activity that correlates to the book. And so this week they're doing a collage workshop that gives you a chance to create your own, I don't know what a paper bullet is, and I guess I'm gonna have to tune in tomorrow night to find out. In commemoration of the art and bravery of Lucy Schwab and Suzanne Maherby. And if I've made the names bad, you can forgive me out. You can comment, ask questions in the live comment section. So join them tomorrow night, 6:30 to 7:30. The Artists Here Partnership, join the registry. So if you're an artist of any kind, go to the Artists Here Partnership on Facebook. There is a link to join the registry. And what it is for artists, so that people who come into town and need some kind of artist, like if you're a clay artist and they need a bowl, they can go there and find clay artists and say, hey, contact you. It's a free place to get your contact info in. Eventually it will be a huge page, and they may somewhere down the road publish it. The Thursday Main Street Dine Around. Now it talks about food, but there is going to be art on there. That is this Thursday, April 29th, 5 to 8, and there will be the art in the alleyway. And the art, there's an alley downtown. There's a couple alleys downtown, but the one that is between Hetzel and Roma, there will be the artists that are going to go in there and be working on their art while you're looking. So you can go in there and look at the artists, and I guess you could do that, and you could go around looking at the music. Wouldn't have to have tickets. The only reason you have to have tickets is 2 reasons. There are 11 restaurants, and you go to each of them with the ticket. You go to each of the restaurant and get something. And Press and Mash and Hops are participating, so you go there and you get something from them. I don't know if the famous cheese sandwich at Press is going to be in it, or some kind of wine. And there's 15 retailers. The retailers have a coupon on the back, and when you have the ticket, the discount at the retailers is good through the middle of May. So get your tickets. They're $25 a person. You can get the tickets at Catch, Cafe Roma, Bank of Cleveland, and you can contact Main Street Cleveland, and she will even deliver tickets to you. So if you can't get out, she'll get it delivered to you. If you can't get out of your office, she'll get out and do that. 11 restaurants, 15 retailers. Let me see what else. Anything else on that? And we will be open till 8. So we're participating. We're one of the retailers that are participating. The Mother Nature Hetzel Art Gallery is still doing their display through May 12th. They are having a solo art exhibition this Sunday, 3 till 8. And Hetzel Art Studios Gallery, their guest will be Melissa Gates. And I looked at her art today online, and it is awesome.
Wow.
She does animals, and hopefully we have her as a guest on here the end of May. So that's that, and our weekly craft thing here is. Gabe, you got it? Do I have it right? These are Christmas ornaments. So we get on here, we tell you another reason to get wine corks Wine cork crafts. Let's see it real quick.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So every week we have a different wine cork craft, and this particular one has silver wire and beads down here. So that's a pretty cool little thing that you can do with the wine corks. And anything else? Okay.
Mama Sue says, "Happy birthday, Susan."
Well, hi, Mama Sue. I was supposed to tell y'all my shirt that I made. Remember 3 or 4 weeks ago, we did the tie-dye. So here's my shirt. See how it turned out. First time I ever tie-dyed anything. Well, I did flat fabric, but I never did a shirt. So I think it turned out okay. It didn't have as much purple as I like, but I would have done all purple. But what do you think? Turned out okay?
I like it.
So you could go back on the YouTube and find the one from, I think it's 3 weeks ago, where I did my first tie-dye, and I had purple hands when I left. And, okay. My sister sent me something for birthday, and she said open it on the air, so I'm gonna do that real quick. You don't mind if we take,
No, it's fine.
actually, I'm talking pretty fast, so we're a little bit ahead of time. I think she got me another one of my favorite dresses in blue instead of black. These things are so comfy. So thank you, Cheryl. This came all the way from Las Vegas. So anyway, my color,
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
And I got sang happy birthday 7 times already.
Sometimes.
So anyway, and I'm old.
Yeah, so 7 times you said?
Uh-huh.
That, like in dog years, it would be 70?
No. No, in dog years I'm what? 10 and a half? No. 9 and a half.
9.5.
9 and a half, yeah. I'm old enough to be on Medicare now. Woo!
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, no.
That's
Oh.
8.
8, that wasn't long enough.
Happy birthday to you.
I don't know if that
Happy
counts.
birthday, dear Susan. Happy birthday to you.
You really have a good voice.
He
You know
does. He does.
I got that radio DJ voice, almost like Rick.
that? Almost like Rick. You do? When are you going to have your own show?
Nah.
I've been trying to talk him into it.
He could do one of those nighttime go to sleep to his voice
He said if we could
shows.
find the midgets, he'd do a show.
Yeah. Find me a midget and we'll do a show.
A show, but you're going to do a weekly show?
Well, it depends.
Okay, we got to explain this to everybody. We're looking for some little people to work at the studio.
Fun size people.
Fun size is what Rick says. And we're dead serious. So if you know anybody, send them our way.
Yeah, kind of like opening up a box of Cracker Jacks.
There we go. We're willing to raise the bar. It takes just really short people.
Okay, well, we're down to the end of the announcements. I will say that we do have, in case I forget at the end, Nadia Burrs with Raven Hill Creations, and she's got ink art, and she does tarot cards and colored ink, and her stuff is awesome.
Really?
So you'll have to look next week and see, or look on the recording after that.
Right.
So, we got to your question. The question that I always ask every artist first is, how did you get into your art? Well, you're kind of an event rather than an art, but there's artists that donate stuff to put in the boxes
There
all the time. So that's why we have you on here. It is the Shoebox Sisters, and we'll ask her what the details on it. But I always like to hear, how did you get into your event?
Okay, I can answer that. My husband and I have moved around a lot, and we always participated in shoeboxes, sending them overseas. And after we both retired, we had an opportunity to go down to Atlanta to the big processing center, and just to see how it worked. What did they do down there? And there are hundreds of people a well-organized event, and they're going through boxes, finalizing them to ship overseas. And really motivated us, and I knew others in our church also felt the same way about shoebox ministry. And so I contacted one of the women, you've met her before, Jeannie Maxwell, and I said, do you think we could form a group of people who would be interested in working with shoeboxes a little bit longer than just in November? And she got excited and contacted one or two others. And I'll be honest, when I started, it was, our church usually sent out about 100. We're not a large church. And I thought, if we just get 50 more shoeboxes, that would be marvelous, amazing. And so we met, we started in January of that next year. And there were other people very interested. And that first year, not 50, but 327 boxes above. And from there, it's just grown.
So explain to the audience what the shoebox ministry is, and that may take you a little while.
Okay.
But, you know, we have 40 more minutes probably at least. So.
Okay. The shoebox ministry is under the umbrella of Samaritan's Purse. So it's Franklin Graham's leadership. And they use individual churches in the United States and in Canada and England, Australia, mostly English-speaking churches. And these churches pack shoeboxes that are meant to be fun for kids. It's just fun stuff. We have hygiene stuff in them, so we always send a toothbrush and soap and washcloths. But we put a lot of fun stuff, and I'll show some of that to you later. But we divide it down. We do 2 to 4 year olds, which likes totally different things than the 5 to 9 year old group. And then the oldest is 10 to 14. And the ultimate goal is this shoebox is representing God's perfect gift to us that we did not deserve through Jesus Christ and salvation. And so this is a box these kids did nothing to work for, but there's a lot of fun, a lot of joy in them, and then there are lessons that follow if they so choose to follow. And there's also a brochure put in them in their language, the language that they're comfortable. Now, obviously, a 2 to 4 year old cannot read, but a 5 to 9 year old can. And if not, it's the beginning of literacy training. So I think in a nutshell, that's kind of it. Our boxes, we take ours to First Baptist in the middle week of November. They do a big count, put them on several big trucks, send them down to Atlanta. They get processed there and then shipped overseas by canoe, by plane, by boat, by yak, back on canoes. It's just an amazing thing to weigh, to get these kids, these boxes.
It's Samaritan's Purse, Operation Christmas Child.
Yes.
And you can go on Facebook and look at some of the videos and see what it's done for children, and you can see the boxes traveling.
Which is fun.
And I'm not familiar with how long Samaritan's Purse and Operation Christmas Child has been around. Do you know?
I know it didn't start with Franklin Graham, but he took it over something like 25, 30 years ago. Not took it over. Somebody else had a small vision. He enlarged it. And it became nationwide at that point under Samaritan's Purse.
Yeah, I didn't know it was around that long.
It has been, but not all churches. And think of our communications today are so much different than back 25, 30 years ago.
Right.
And so now it's much more, you mentioned going on the web. Some of those videos are amazing of just how they get the boxes there, but then how they get them. And a lot happens before our boxes even arrive. There are teams from Samaritan's Purse who go in and train the native speaking language people how to present the gospel. So they're just waiting for shoeboxes because they have been trained on how to present the gospel. Some pastors really don't know how to do that with kids, and they're trained. And it's just a much deeper than just a shoebox.
Right.
It's a it's really a ministry that's a lot deeper and farther reaching than ever I knew until I started watching the videos and reading.
Right. I've actually met a couple of kids that came from Africa, ended up in the churches there, and then ended up coming to America, immigrating to America, and they are actually grown now.
They are.
And they are working in the ministry in America or working with shoeboxes.
And their stories are precious. I got to meet one of them that first time we went down to the processing center. There was a young woman, probably in her 20s, kind of a college-age student. And I had actually seen the video on the web of this young girl. But one of the women delivering the shoeboxes to her orphanage, and I don't know if it was Romania or I can't remember exactly what country, opened the shoebox with her. Well, now this young girl just wanted something for her hair. That's just something for her hair. And so they opened this shoebox, and what's on top but simple little barrettes, little girls' barrettes. And she started, and they have a video of this, she started putting these all over her long hair, sticking out, you know, and it's fun. Well, one lady really identified with this young girl and sat down with her and continued to open the box. And in there was one of those, you've seen those necklaces that split, and you're my friend, I'm one of those. And they shared one. The woman got one, and this young girl put it on. And the story goes then that this woman came back and her family adopted this young girl from the orphanage.
Oh, wow, I'm having goosebumps.
Well, it did it to us too. I'm listening to this young girl in tears because her story is such a ministry. It happened to her. I mean,
Yeah.
It happened to her. And there's another young man who spoke at one of our, I don't want to call it a rally, but kind of a motivational when all this, and he learned to sing Jesus Loves Me with one of the yo-yos that were in the box. And he was on the platform, and here he is an adult, and he's showing how he learned Jesus Loves Me with a yo-yo. So the stories are moving, just very, very moving. And many times their stories aren't as easy as this young girl being adopted. They have come in the United States for education and gone through all the visa process and I mean, they've really struggled to get here. But it all started with a shoebox.
Wow.
So, neat stories.
I just had a question and it went, shoo.
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
What is in? Okay, let's just show us this 2 to 4 year old shoebox.
Okay, our group, our shoebox sisters, have already packed 300 boxes, 150 for the girls, 150 for the boys of 2 to 4 year olds.
2 to 4 year olds.
And
Do you want us to put
I
it up
will.
here, Gabe? So
you want us to open?
Yeah, because up here the camera.
You want to take the stuff out?
If you can get it back in, 'cause
I
it
probably
sure
can. I've packed a lot of these.
It sure looks like it'd be hard to get, but this is loaded with stuff.
We pack our boxes tightly.
So you've got a doll.
We have one woman who said she doesn't want any holes in our boxes. And so we really try to pack them tightly.
So there's toys and shoes and a toy inside the shoe.
You don't waste any space.
Don't waste any space. So no matter how much you pack it, it's still $9 per box.
Yes, good point. It is.
So if you put a lot in there, it's the same as if you put a little bit.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if the box isn't totally filled, because it is expensive to fill these boxes, down at the processing center, different companies have donated things, and when you're processing these boxes, you're processing to take out, like some people will put their $9 in there, so you put that out and put it in a special bin, because they don't want that to go overseas.
Right.
Then war toys are not allowed because some of these countries have been ravaged by
And
war.
it would make them
and
feel
so
bad.
You don't. And so they check them quickly. But if the box isn't totally filled, there's a hole up above. Yeah, and you can pull in if they need toys or washcloths or whatever. We
Here's a
always
little-
try to put pinky balls in because those things bounce and have lots of fun. I played with pinky boy balls.
And
Those
little animules.
and those are finger puppets.
Oh,
Yeah. One of our ladies really is into finger puppets, so we always put finger puppets in.
oh, those are cute.
And then the coloring book is age appropriate for young ones. We buy older ones for the
So this is the
2 to 4.
2 to 4 year old. So
Try to just have pictures that are large enough for a child to color, not too much
I'm
detail.
gonna mess this all up, and she'll have to
Take
spend
me a
time.
bit, huh? The colors, the
So
bracelets, this is a girl.
This is a girl one. So they do have some little hair ties and bracelets and crayons to go with the coloring book. And so we have a picture. Is this the Shoebox Sisters?
Yes.
Okay.
And at
Can
the,
you see that?
on the back of it, then we always put a label and we say, what is it? Packed with
Packed
love.
with the Love of Jesus by Candy's Creek Church Shoebox Sisters, and it has the address and it has the email address. So do you get letters from?
We do.
You get thank you notes and letters and stuff?
And we get pictures sometimes. Not a whole lot because it costs a lot to send
A letter,
overseas.
yeah.
And these don't go to wealthy countries at all.
And then soap.
Soap in
and
a soap dish.
And it says it's ivory soap and a washcloth and a little dress. So do you girls make these dresses at your
We
room?
do.
So these are the cute little dresses, and they would love some donations of fabric or trims.
Yes, the trim and elastic, 3/8 or an 1/8, fourth of an inch elastic, half an inch elastic for the draw up at the top. And those then tie over their shoulders.
You
And
you see this, Gabe?
the advantage is that would probably fit a 2 to 4 year old child. And then as they got older, if it still was together, it would be a top, a blouse for an older girl.
Yeah. But these are gorgeous and they're very simple. I could see how you guys could get a whole bunch of them. So you have done 350,
Not all of them get dresses. We
Right.
sometimes run short of dresses.
but you
the
guys have
majority,
done 350 boxes since January 1st.
yeah, actually since February, because we were shut down for a bit with COVID. And then our group started getting vaccinated and that sort, and we started meeting more.
I don't know if I'm even
Predictably.
try to get these back in.
I've packed 1 or 2 of those, so I'll work on it. Our boys' box is going to be very much the same. No, this is a girl's box too. I must have gotten 2. A little boys' box will probably have cars. This young group, we really try to make them so that they're safe for 18 months and older. We don't want to choke a child. And
Right.
so we get vehicles that are safe for 18-month and up kids. We'll put cars in. We'll put flip-flops in. A lot of our boxes get flip-flops for them.
The flip-flops is how I got to know this group.
Yes, and
I
we
had a whole bunch
appreciate.
of flip-flops 4 years ago, I think.
It was longer than that. It was 6 or 7 years ago.
Was it really that long
Yeah, you
ago?
were one of our first contributors.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we had flip-flops where you put the fabric on the toe thing and decorate them, and they came in, and the rest is history.
Yep, we put them in boxes. I think they were of the size that we put them in the 10 to 14-year-old.
Yes, I
They
don't
were
think I had
larger.
any smaller.
But yeah, no, they're overseas. Somebody's enjoying those. We put a lot of times little musical instruments. I'm trying to see if there's anything extra in this one. Tried, and these are kind of hard to find. A musical something. Okay, there's one. We can see a kid
You
with
could-
that on their ankle and having just a ball dancing. So we like to, but they're not easy to find.
These are hard to find, but I could see maybe somebody who got creative enough could make these.
Possibly, but you do want to, again, these are for the 2 to 4-year-olds. Make it so that the bells are big enough and the method that they're attached
Yeah.
can't hurt a child.
Yeah.
You'll notice.
I would think the older kids would like these too.
Oh yeah, we put them, but like I said, they're hard to find. We started ordering them online and having a little more success here lately. I just wanted to show on this box, you might want to just, no need to open it, I don't think, because things are pretty much the same. But we also like just the plastic shoebox, and how useful would that be to be storing and keeping food clean and in good shape? So
And then you write on the box what age.
we do just to keep ourselves straight. You don't need to do that sending overseas because they give you buy a label that gets attached, and that designates boy, girl,
So
and age.
if you just bring a shoebox with a bunch of stuff in it, like to your church or to any of the collection places,
For
you don't have to say what age. And then when it goes to Atlanta, they look at it and if you haven't said, well, it's a whatever age, they can look at it and say.
And when we were down there, that has happened. If someone brought stuff to our church, we would probably go through it and divide it. We have an inventory specialist. Everybody's got their specialty in our group. But Paula keeps us organized and keeps us account. I wish I'd brought an inventory sheet that helps us know what we have. And so she would divide it down and put it in the age appropriate, boy, girl, and it would be probably split. It'd be easier to have that happen at our facility where we have the time rather than
In Atlanta.
in Atlanta.
Okay. So you guys decide 2 to 4. Is it 2 to 4, 4 to 6?
2 to 4, 5 to 9, and then 10 to 14.
Okay, so there's
And-
3 different age groups.
And I brought some of the other stuff.
Okay, let's look at the other stuff.
One for the older boys, for sure, and this will look kind of funny until we open it up. There's a place in California who just sends us these like this, and this is a soccer ball. Look at it.
So it's able to be put in the box.
We used to buy soccer balls at the local sporting goods, and trying to get a soccer ball flat was one of the most comical activities
Oh,
we ever
wow.
did. We'd sit on them and all sorts this way, and we put a pump in them with extra needles, and it can go, and the child
So this
blow it
goes
up.
to the oldest group.
At this point, there are sometimes, my husband and I like to send them also to the boys 5 to 9s, but they're expensive and it's a big undertaking. But yeah, we definitely send it.
Gabe, you
to
want
the
a
old
soccer
gym.
ball? Here, run, catch. I wonder how long it would take me to blow it up. I don't think.
I don't know. So we send the little pump. It fits in.
So if it's like right in,
It fits in, and there
do
are
you guys
extra
put
needles.
like a thing on the end, or?
There's a needle, and in there's an extra needle too. We send 2
Okay.
needles with each.
And so they have somebody show them how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Some of
that's
the
amazing, because
volunteers.
I hadn't seen that before. Of course, it's been, like I was telling you earlier, I was in Civil Air Patrol, and we did at one of the locations in town where the shoeboxes were dropped off, and some of the cadets would help with loading some of the shoeboxes. Because people bring stuff in and just say, here, but most of the time it was putting the shoeboxes in the bigger boxes.
Now, we do that at our church. They allow us to, I think because they trust us, but you have to get about 18 of the shoe boxes in the big carton, and then it's the big cartons that go to the drop-off
Right.
intermediate center. But this has started just in the last 5 years. First of all, it was very hard to find soccer balls. And then it was very difficult. I wish I had taken a picture of one of our women, not a picture, a video, of
We're trying to
Patty trying to flatten.
Deflate a soccer ball.
It was its own
Can you
comedy.
imagine that, Gabe?
Yeah.
You had to put something in the stem
Yeah.
So it could stay in there. I'd probably, yeah, I could see, that would be a party game.
Oh, that, it would qualify. And we had to get glycerin to insert, I mean, it was quite an endeavor to do. Well, I mean, we did it, you know, but at that time, we were only sending about 30 over. This time, we'll be sending 200 or 300. So it's awfully nice to have these that look like a bowl, and they fold, and we wrap stuff around.
So do you guys take donations of anything?
That's suitable for a child, and
Right.
that'll fit in a shoebox. We've had...
Yeah, no elephants.
Yeah, no elephants. We have one man in our group, he's the spouse, and he's a fisherman. And so for the older kids, we pack fishing kits. And
Wow.
with all that you need, including line, and they could put the line on a stick or whatever and stick it in, and perhaps.
So how's that, is that not cool?
That is cool.
See it better this way, right? Yeah.
They're card games we put in the older ones, and they may not know the card game, but they create their own.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
you know.
And nothing else, you put it on a bicycle and make noise.
Yeah.
Do I tell you
Yeah.
how? Does that tell you what I did?
With a clothespin, sure. We send small hammers. Some on they don't fit it with a soccer ball, obviously, but levels and a measuring.
So older kids would really like these boxes.
That's the intent. But older kids in many cultures aren't playing, they're supporting or contributing to family.
Right.
And so we put nails and screws in, and then a tape measure in some of them.
So you could take tools that nobody wants, brand new,
Brand new.
and tools and screws and stuff. And you guys, these are just the food cups. Can you see that, Gabe? That it's one of them food cups? So if you have a bunch of the leftover tools, like you bought a box of whatever, screws that you used 3 or 4 out of, and you're never going to use them again, instead of letting them rust in your closet, bring it to the Shoebox Sisters.
We, my dad passed several years ago, and he was a great woodworker, and so we took his nails and screws and that sort, because like you say, you use 1 or 2, and many times, that is one of our smaller containers, many times we use amber pill bottles, and so you can get longer nails in and that sort of thing.
Do you need the empty pill bottles?
At this point, I think we're in pretty good shape, because the age of our group, we have medical needs, and so that's one thing we probably have adequate on, but
But the stuff to fill the
that would
pill
be
bottles
wonderful.
would be wonderful.
That would be
So
wonderful.
that's a good idea. All y'all go in and clean your garage out. Don't get the rusty ones.
Yeah,
Get the nice ones.
we don't
And if you got a
send,
bunch of rusty ones you don't want, my husband Chris will recycle them. So if you clean your garage out and you've got a pile of rusty and a pile of good, you can bring them all to Hyder Hangout, and I'll make sure they get to where they need to be.
that'd be great. All of our older kids get a handmade string backpack.
Can y'all see how this backpack works? They put that around your arms, and then this also pulls up. And this is very simple to make. And I'm sure you could, if you needed help, you could say, hey, quilters from Hyder Hangout, we need some backpacks made, and tell us how. And Hyder Hangout has lightweight canvas and stuff, so y'all can come to Hyder Hangout. And if you're saying you're doing for a charity, I always give a discount.
Great, thanks.
So anybody comes says, well, I'm making something for Shoebox Sisters or anybody else.
And I have instructions, printed instructions,
So
and
she could give us
emailable.
printed, and she could email it to me, and I could say, here, make however many of this.
This is the other thing we make. It's a little longer than normal. The reason we have not packed the 5 to 9 or the 10 to 14 yet is because on the older kids, we pack an awful lot of school supplies. It can make an awful lot of difference whether or not they can attend school. And so we put pencils and pens and a spiral notebook and calculators and
So this is for the
rulers.
school supplies?
And that's a long one. I'm not quite sure. It was a remnant from something, and so that's more typical of the size,
Pencil
length.
size.
Pencil size.
Well, here's a pencil.
And so
So,
we make those
here we
out of the
go.
remnants from our dresses.
Pencil size.
Yep. And we have one group that, not really shoebox sisters, although we'll call them that. One of our ladies likes to do it at home. She has 2 machines set up and a cutting surface and all. And so on Wednesday mornings, she has a group of friends come in and they make either the backpacks or the pencil pouches. But we feel that's awfully important, and the good sales come at the end of July.
For the
And
shoe,
August.
for the school
Supplies, yeah. And so we wait, and we'll pack the 5 to 9 late July, and then in October, we'll pack the 10 to 14.
So if anybody's got brand new pens or pencils,
They need to be new.
Yeah.
We don't send anything used. We'd like it to be new.
so unsharpened new pencils and brand new in the package.
Pens,
Pens or-
erasers, either pencil tip ones or the pink ones. Scissors, we always need scissors. We do send glue sticks to them, we can send that. Liquid glue, we cannot send. They, anything that could possibly break and ruin our shoebox and others in the
Right.
carton, we don't send.
Right, but glue sticks don't break and run.
They don't. They ship.
Do we have any questions or comments so far?
None yet?
None yet?
Okay. Just looking, the others had shoes. Flip-flops are big. We've talked about that. Here's one of the medicine bottles with, one of our ladies, I think it's Virginia, really likes, this is a game she's used to playing. I wasn't
Oh,
familiar
right,
with it.
left, and,
That's it. And so we take it out of the packaging that we buy it in, same for dominoes, so that we can fit more into the box.
so here's the little
So,
game.
throwing out ideas for people so that they can, the boys, we pack the girls' dresses and the boys' t-shirts.
So you get some donations of t-shirts.
Well, we actually buy most of this stuff. We get donations of fabric and
What happens
trims.
if we have a misprint t-shirt? Will you take them?
We will, if they don't, we had a bunch of teams t-shirts. How did we get those? There was a company that was trying to, and there was nothing objectionable, nothing that a kid would get hurt over, and we sent them. I think they were ball team, or, a college ball team or something, and they were misprints. But they still looked good. It was a misprint only to the college. It wasn't to us.
Yeah.
And so we sent them, and that works.
So instead of using them for rags, if you ever get any misprint t-shirts, Rick.
What's that?
See,
He's not
probably
listening.
didn't even listen.
He's not listening.
If you ever get any misprints that they can still send to kids, that, maybe one of them misprinted a little bit, but it still looks okay to send to the shoebox, you can send them to them and they'll send them to a kid. All right?
Yo-yos are good. Oh, a big thing that we tried to send, you know how when you were a kid you loved a flashlight?
Well, I like a flashlight now.
Well, I do too, to be
I play
honest.
with them sometimes.
This is a flashlight. It has batteries in it, and then we always send extra batteries, and we put them in that tight bag so that they can't have the wrong ends touching and ignite.
Yeah.
But
So the-
pretty much every 5 to 9, 10 to 14.
So you could use a donation of plastic bags too.
Oh, yeah. We go through a lot of plastic bags.
That looks good, because that's a neat idea.
That little bag came from, it's for packing jewelry, and they sell them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any of those places, they sell them.
Or
So-
Uline. You guys could, somebody out there could go and get a whole bunch of bags from Uline and donate it to the girls.
I'm not familiar with you.
That's they have everything, paper and boxes
Yeah,
and
everything's shipping.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah,
But
they're
they
boxes.
probably, this
And
is
they
a.
ship in one day.
Okay,
You can like order and then get it in
They got packing material and everything.
anything.
interesting. I am not familiar with them. This is a very specialized jewelry, and we just happened, it fits 3 batteries, and that's what we need. So I'm not sure they'd have it. They may well.
Oh, they have
everything.
They have 4 pages of single space, single line, 3 columns of plastic bag sizes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They'd have it.
Yeah, they would have it.
They would.
And
They would
and the
have
nice
it.
thing, it's like wholesale price.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just about,
I'll
yeah.
have to check that out. Because we have shifted to using online resources just because it's very difficult in this area to buy enough. For example, you'd think every place would have the pink bouncy balls. They are hard to find, very hard to find. And so my husband and I, we went online, and now we can purchase them. I guess I can tell Party City is where we have to go.
Yeah.
For them to be reasonable. They're, $1 a piece from them. But it's just very hard to, this doesn't look like much, but the reason we do it year round is because it takes so long.
Well, you watch for sales.
Exactly.
And you go to Dollar Tree, I'm sure.
Dollar Tree is a big one. My husband ran in to get a soda for a group we have at our house tonight, and he came out with a $5 off 25 coupon that I can use at Dollar General on Saturday. Well, I'll be in there, Dollar General. One of them in the area, I've copied where they all are, and I will buy, if they have pink balls or coloring books or shoe boxes, the plastic shoe boxes.
Plastic shoe boxes.
I like those.
You can get the shoe boxes at Uline too.
Okay, they need to be the type that aren't the brittle plastic.
Yeah,
because when we were down at the processing center, the brittle ones, because
The
of
hard
that,
plastic. This is a rubbery plastic.
that exactly.
It's like a Rubbermaid, and Uline
Yeah.
does carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one particularly is Sterlite. We get them from, again, Dollar General, because they seem to be
Well,
the
come by the
best.
shop sometime. I'll give you a Uline catalog.
Yeah,
Because they send me one about once a quarter, and
okay.
we can do that. We can.
I'm staying away from the temptation of fabric. That's my weakness.
Well,
I'm a quilter.
I'll let you in the back door and put blinders on you.
I need them.
And-
I need them.
Or I'll make you stay outside and you just say, I'm here to get my catalog.
Yeah. Fat quarters, for the older girls, you think we give things for the boys, tools. For the older girls, we try to give a sewing kit. And I'm not sure if this is a sewing kit that we are now making our own because they've kind of gotten difficult to find. Things keep changing, products keep changing.
Well, and then prices go up.
Yes.
And I could help you with some of the things in here to get a good, there's a company that does wholesale, a little bit off of
Okay.
wholesale. So, I don't know if he's got the little tomato pincushion, but I might be able to help you with getting some of these.
We were thinking of the pincushions are tough and to find. And so we were even thinking pieces of felt sewed together with polyester, or
Right.
to just give a temporary, an easy, we have to make do sometimes. But here then we try to, if people give us fabric and it's not enough to maybe make a dress, we cut fat quarters and we put them together, tie them together, and we put a fat quarter or two in each one.
Okay, Radio Land that doesn't know what a fat quarter is.
Yes.
To be confused with what the typical, let me think, how am I going to put this politically correct?
It's not slang for body size.
No.
Okay.
It's there is also a fat quarter in the drug world.
Oh,
You
didn't know that.
Yes, but these are a quarter-yard piece of fabric, but it's fatter one way than the other, so it ends up being more square than it is long. So a quarter of a yard, if you cut 9 inches, 4 9-inch pieces, that makes a yard. But if you cut it the other way in quarters, it's what they call a fat quarter.
It's a quilter's, it's more usable for a lot of things than the
Yes.
long skinny piece.
Right.
And so Yeah, I've had to educate, I'm a quilter, but I've had to educate some of the people within my group of what, as they're cutting these, you know.
They're cutting
what
a
it's-
quarter yard and they're wanting to know
why-
what a fat
why-
quarter
why
is.
we call
And
it
I
this?
knew that some of the people out there would say, because I had my son who, before he was preaching, was into the alternative lifestyle. I don't know if that's what you want to call it, but I'm trying to be a little bit tactful. But he says, when did you have fat quarters in here? And then explain to me what fat quarters were in
Interesting,
a
I'd never heard
different-
that.
Yeah, there's different subcultures, I guess you would say, that have different lingo.
Oh, I'm sure that's true.
Yes, so fat quarters in
well, this
some
one's
places
pretty
is,
innocent.
is not fabric.
Okay.
You
Socks.
learned something today.
I learned something today. Socks we put in, rolled, buttons we put in, safety pins we put in, and again, the little, we've just gotten,
Bag of safety pins and then buttons.
we've just been given gobs of buttons from someone. A lot of people, their moms or grandmothers die, and they don't know what to do with all of that. And so we get,
So they got to you before they got to me, but I'm thinking I have a whole bunch of buttons, but most of mine are sorted together into packs of 6 or 8 or 10, and if I ever get where I go through there, and I'm going to individually price them, but they're in bags and they're so much a bag. I may send some your way, and you've got beads and stuff in here. That would be to somebody who is very, very poor. That would be like the treasure of the thing.
even some of the fat quarters, of course, I am thinking sewing, you know, that's my, and some of the ladies said some of these people would, like the one with the colored leaves, would hang it on the wall as just a home brightener. You know, and we don't even think of that. We're so blessed with so much stuff, but other people would look at some of this so differently.
Yeah.
So I think that's it on my bag of, well, I don't know what's in here. Oh, we have one lady who likes creating craft kits,
So this is a craft kit.
and she's put a lot of beads.
Oh wow, pony beads.
Yeah, and ribbon.
And they are not expensive. And then there's ribbon and some yarn down here. Cord, rainbow cord. So there's this. So any of you guys that want to clean your craft room out. So the guys are going to clean the garage out.
Okay.
And the girls are going to clean their craft room out. And they're going to bring boxes of stuff to Hyder Hangout. And I will get it to these girls at the Shoebox Sixers.
That'd be great. That would be great.
So I don't know, Gabe, what do you got some stuff to clean out?
Don't we all?
I'm just thinking my junk drawers in my kitchen.
Yeah. I got like a 3-bay garage full of stuff. And
Yeah.
a barn.
Most of us
he,
do.
He
Most of us
lives
do.
on a farm, and but some of his stuff you probably think, oh, I'll never use that. So he'll be bringing me stuff every week now. I can just see it.
We don't want to deplete you, Gabe. We're not trying to steal your stuff.
Take it. Take it.
Just so
Yeah,
we
but
don't have
if
to
you
come and
bring-
sort
If
it.
you bring stuff, it'll go to a good cause.
We feel
and
it is.
And you know, to somebody who doesn't have hardly anything, these would be like precious.
Right.
And we think, oh, it's just throw it in the junk drawer. You know, and the little hammer. I'm thinking, you know, how many screwdrivers do I have? Because I inherited my dad's stuff.
Right.
My son inherited my dad's stuff. Maybe we need to go through and then maybe I'll tag my son on this video and say, hey, listen to this and go through the stuff and send some stuff.
Yeah.
Because even though he's a contractor, some of the stuff, there's just not enough of it to do what he needs to do. But this in a container like this would be just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And the benefit of all this, obviously doing what we're doing, is our bottom line. Getting something into kids' hands and at the same time sharing the Lord with them. But the group has developed such a fellowship, singleness of purpose, that we've really become great friends besides. And so there's been an added benefit to be doing it with people that we've come to love. And so it's a great thing on multiple levels. I'm thankful for
So
shoeboxes.
do you know of any other groups in any of the other churches that
Other
are?
churches do it, and they do it wonderfully. They do it differently. And I'm not in a position to share just because I don't totally know how they do it. But we're the only ones who really, that I know of, that make so many things, that work as a team, that have work days every other week and start in January typically. Other groups do a great job sending out hundreds of shoeboxes. Ours is the only one that operates quite like this. And I think it's the makeup of our women, you know, that they really have a heart for missions. That's the unifying behind all of them, I think. And it's their social. I mean, I look forward to, I'm going to miss Friday because I'm visiting a daughter. And, you know, it hurts to miss because I'll miss some fun, some
Well,
interaction.
yeah. Well, sometimes I put it this way, that heart is thicker than blood. And
Yeah.
sometimes you're closer to your friends than you are to your blood relatives.
The commonness of purpose is of a unifying feature, and it's powerful.
Yeah,
It's powerful.
I do the same thing with a group called Out of the Ashes.
Okay.
And I sponsor 3 kids, and I provide a monthly, amount that I send over to support the 3 kids, but that gives them food, clothing, medical, and then once a year I buy 20 backpacks filled with school supplies and stuff.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You may be making the difference of whether or not that child can go to school or not.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so
I'm not the only one doing
huge.
it. There's-
No.
Yeah,
No.
and the thing is that people don't understand how blessed we are. You know, we throw away more stuff in the United States
We do.
than some kids see their whole life.
And this is an expense, and you know, there's a joy, and I know you feel it too, the joy of, I'll tell you, we pack these, and we see all these big cartons with 18 to 20 going off, and there's just nothing that goes the heart. I mean, it's been a whole year's work, and now it's going, and some child is going to open it and have a joy of something new, and we hope the joy of the Lord.
Well, there's
That's our
probably times
intent.
that's the first time they've ever had any
Oh, for sure.
choice.
For sure. That's
Any
why a
toy.
simple
or
pink
any,
ball.
or any socks.
Yeah.
Yes, or a little shirt. I mean, sometimes they
Or barrettes for their hair. I mean,
Barrettes for their hair,
The little
yeah.
girl with barrettes sticking out. She used the whole pack, and it's just the cutest picture. The hair sticking out every which way, but that's the one thing she wanted.
So how can people help? Can people become a member of your church and join, or can they come on your thing without being a member of your church?
They don't have to be a member. In fact, we have 2 or 3 shoebox sisters who are not members of our church. That's not. Usually there's an underlying love for kids, love for the Lord. Those are the 2 things. They can come and help us and get a feel. We do just simple things to complex as far as sewing, and you know, there's a job for everybody. And we tend to specialize by just our giftedness. Some people say, I can't do anything, but I'll donate to send $9 sends a box over. I'll give $9, and that's going to get a box. That's huge, you know. So, and other people, if they're blessed financially, they give more. But
So give us your address, and we're just about out of time.
Okay.
Give us your contact info, how they can get stuff to you, and of course, as I always say, if you want to donate, you can bring stuff to Hyder Hangout or come purchase stuff at Hyder Hangout, just like I did for the veterans thing. So I will do that for you guys. But
well, our church is Candies Creek Baptist Church, and it's at 294 Eureka Road, and that is in Charleston.
right.
If you put Cleveland, it's a dead letter. And so that would be, and I let's see, do I know their phone number? I'm not sure enough of it offhand. I do rapid
Did they
dial.
have? Do they have Facebook page? The church?
They do. They also have people there from pretty much 8:30 to 4:30 every day.
Okay.
And so you're a good contact. I am happy to, and I'm still in the phone book. I still have a landline. So it's Jean Dunn, and it's under Lewis and Jean, I think. So there are multiple ways, but through the church would probably be the easiest, especially if they want to donate money to send these. I'd rather not handle somebody else's money. I'd rather it go directly
Okay.
to the church.
Well, we appreciate you coming, and
Thank you for having
that.
me.
And reminder, we have Nadia Bursch and Ravenhill Creations, Ink Art next week, and we're getting closer and closer to the art and music, our music and art festivals. So go online, get your tickets, or come to Hyder Hangout and get tickets, or come to the studio, get tickets. And we're looking forward to it. It's getting better and better and better as we go. And we appreciate it, Gabe. Thank
See
you.
ya.